welcome to another edition of Community Issues. I'm your host, Omar Rashida. Live right here on Comcast Channel 28, I have two distinguished guests, and we're going to be talking about the Family Promise of Northern Cali, Delaware. Ms. Gordon and Ms. Gates, good morning.
Thank you.
All right, Family Promise, you know, it was a great organization. I heard from one of my dear associates, Ms. Laveda White, who's on the board. I said, oh, we got to bring him on. So why don't you just give a brief overview of what is Family Promise?
Sure. Family Promise helps homeless families with children get back to lasting independence. So we provide safe temporary shelter, hope, encouragement, support, case management. But what's really neat is our actual shelter accommodations are provided through a network of congregations in the area. So the volunteers put the faith into action and host the families directly in their house of worship.
All right, now Ms. Gates, you were helped by Family Promise in the past. Why don't you talk about your experience in the organization and helping you?
Yes, Mr. Omar, good morning.
Good morning.
They were a tremendous help to my son and I when we were in need, taking us on into their finding shelter in a timely manner. We went in after I had a couple surgeries. That's what led me to the Hudson Center, who referred me to Family Promise. And I think maybe about a week or so wait list, and that was great.
Right.
So it was really because it was 4 families at one time, and it was a warming. They were open arms.
Okay.
They did a whole intake with questions, and I was fine with it because I really wanted them to know I needed that help. I had it set in my mind it was temporary.
Right.
And I just needed to get that next step going when the apartment I was in did not accept the fact that the doctors didn't release me back to work yet. So having the food there, having the warm bed to lay in, we didn't know what kind of atmosphere we were going into, whether it was set up like beds all over the place or it was, so it was very welcoming to see that we had our individual rooms. Some of the churches that volunteered had preschools or schools in their building or the annex.
That's great.
Where we could stay, and they just had the food and facility there, and the activities were great. And so my son, he enjoyed that, and with having other children there, they just mashed, and it was really nice. Conversations were great.
Right. Now the church is involved at different levels. They have your host, you have your support, your affiliate. You want to get into that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. We have 15 host congregations right now.
Okay.
And then 25 or more support congregations that help out, where the hosts have the actual facilities to have the 4 families at a time, have their own private spaces, and take care of them for a week. And the support congregations are able to provide volunteer support, helping the families get between the congregations in our day center where they can shower, do laundry, meet with me. And what's really exciting too is our next hosting group that's going to be starting come January is a group of 6 congregations, 2 synagogues, Presbyterian Church, Methodist Church that will actually have the hosting facilities. So when all is said and done, it's probably easily over 800 volunteers that make our program come together.
Okay, and just a 2-part question. So, someone comes to your agency, we want to go through the intake process, just go through the proper steps that's needed in order to get involved in the program. And then how long is a person, what is the longest length of stay? They can say it's only a week, is it a month, is it a year, 2 years?
We're short term. I mean, we know this is not where folks want to be. This is not their goal for housing. So folks can stay with us for up to 90 days. And as much as possible, we try and help families move out as quickly as possible. So 30 days, 60 days is usually what we're striving for. People call in. We get, through our website, a lot of referrals. So just before coming to the talk show this morning, we had three new families looking for help over the night. And we sit down with them and make sure they kind of understand how we work. Would it be a good fit for them? And a lot of our families have had work experience, have had rental history, have even owned homes in the past. But then some derailing life event happened, and they find themselves needing some help and some temporary shelter. But that's what's really neat on the other end, working with landlords and employers, where they realize our families, are coming with skills and strengths and gifts and talents, and just sort of need a little connecting piece to get them there.
Right. Now, the case management services, Ms. Gates, I guess it really helped you get through, you and your son?
Yes, sir, tremendously, because although I was going through the agony of having to be put out and evicted, it helped that I went over the financial piece, and I was thankful and praising God for all of it, and thankful that I still had my job and was able to get to work, and it was nearby. I think everything was within 5 miles or so of my job.
Right.
So that was a tremendous help. And to just she's so warm and welcoming that it helped me to open up to say, this is where I am. This is where I need to be comfortable. And I thought of it more, and she gave me all the ins and outs, no holding back, open and everything, so that I can let her know that, all right, we have things going on in our lives between church and Daniel's school and my work. And so what my thing was to keep Daniel with a lot of normalcy as much as possible, so that he wouldn't feel he wouldn't feel the anger or frustration, because going through school is enough than being displaced with your housing.
Exactly.
So it helped that we kept that on track. He does the football, the wrestling. They called him in to do lacrosse, so he kept on track with all of that.
So he's a great athlete.
Yes. And he went through Bible camp over the summer during that time when I was doing all of the intake. He was away at the church Bible camp, so that helped him to be out of that mix of it. So it was awesome.
And just a follow-up two-part question. There are people who are watching right now. Say, well, do you guys help out with paying bills? You know, I got a high electric bill, I got a high rent bill, I got a high water bill. So, do you help people pay bills? Let's just start with that question.
Yeah, absolutely. And in order to do that, it helps to have the support of the community with financial contributions or whatnot. But certainly, we try and help offset the cost of security deposits or first month rent, or whatever may be blocking them to get into the housing. So it might be the judgment from the eviction, and they could stay in our program and get the paychecks and pay it all off. But if we can help them just do it in a more timely manner so they can get to that goal of housing, we certainly want to do it. And we continue to support families when they're in their own housing for at least 6 months up to a year after, just to make sure things stick. Jobs may change, cars break down.
Right, exactly.
But certainly we do the two-pronged approach of the case management support, but also some financial support.
I just want to reconfirm that it's families. It's not individuals, but it has to be families that you guys help out, right? Yeah,
and family can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So we've had grandparents in the network with their grandchild. We've had single dads in the past. We've had single moms, 2-parent head of households as well. And all age of children. Right now we have a 3-month-old up to 21, even if we go over 18. So we just look at families who have a dependent child under 18 as a starting place of being a family. And it's traumatic enough going through the experience, so we don't want to make it harder and say we can't take in some of the family members.
Right. We have 2 minutes remaining in this segment. I want you to talk about, I think you had monthly inspirational meetings that you have.
I'm glad you saw this on the website.
Okay, you can talk about that. And then the families that's involved in your program, do they have to actually be involved in terms of looking for a job or working, meaning that they just can't just sit there in church all day and do nothing?
Absolutely. We don't just sort of provide a roof over the head. We do that, but we also want to help families move out of the circumstances and never find themselves in the same position. So there's a lot of focus on securing employment, maintaining employment. The budgeting piece, I love doing budgeting and financial counseling, and the credit repair piece, so that's a large part of it as well. So yeah, there's no daytime talk television going on all day long.
No Jerry Springer.
But the families really want the help, and they want to change their lives, and they want to get back into housing. And that's why we're able to move about 85% of our families out into their own places.
That's great.
The inspirational sessions, just monthly, last Thursday of every month. The times change to hopefully help out people's schedules, but it's just a good overview of Family Promise, kind of a tour of our mission by walking through the day center, hearing even the voices from the graduates, and just sort of seeing how we work, since it's a pretty unique model of providing temporary shelter.
Okay, now the last couple of seconds we have remaining: website, phone number,
Yes.
address for those who are interested in being involved.
Sure. So the full title is Family Promise of Northern Newcastle County. Shorthand, Family Promise. It's familypromisede.org is our website. 998-2222. Pretty simple phone number. You can always get us on email too at info@familypromisede.org. And our day center is off of Kirkwood Highway down on St. James Church
Okay.
Road. So.
Okay, Ms. Gates, 30 seconds. Get some closing comments.
I'm just overwhelmed. I just thank and praise God that He took me through that experience, an awesome experience with transitioning. You never know what it's going to be like, but you just have to set yourself, I need help, and I need to work out a plan to how to get it. And once you start on that road, and you pray first, you start out on that road, and it can be much easier than you think it is, because when you make up in your mind and heart that you want to do what's right, and you want to provide for your household, there is hope out there. For my son and I, it was on maybe about 30 days in there. I mean, they had computers set up that I can do a lot of things online. My son can keep up with his schoolwork. They gave that space and time just for everything so that you wouldn't feel like, to me, we were without shelter,
Right.
but we were basically as a home, as a loving, that's what made us home, so I don't call it homeless.
All right. Okay, on that note, I'd like to thank you ladies for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Okay, live right here on Comcast Channel 28, you're watching Community Issues. We're going to take a short break, and Sister Nzinga is going to be talking about Kwanzaa 2012. Stay tuned for more Community Issues.